All right, guys. The next thing we're gonna talk about is why Trump is an undercover Democrat, which this is kind of top secret. He doesn't want nobody to know. He probably told me, and he didn't want anybody else to know. Anyways, I'm kidding about that. I want to talk to the guy. He wrote me a love letter. Um, so he this video was about in 2004, and there's more evidence than just this that he's an undercover Democrat. Um, you see him in this video talking about the graduation and trying to motivate these children, these kids that just graduated from university, which I call them kids because they're just getting out of high school. From there, you're still a kid considering that you just got out of high school and you haven't lived life to the fullest. You're not an adult, you know. That's why I call him that. But he is caught saying that whether there are obstacles in your life, there will be. That's technically what he's saying. In other words, he's saying climb those concrete walls, climb those obstacles, make sure that you reach your goals, no matter what happens. And he's right. He does have a point. I do believe in we naturally as humans we do break obstacles. We break records. You look at Usain Bolt. He be speeding through. Um, Anyways, like I'm saying, he is an undercover Democrat. You have seen him in the past before his presidency donating to Democratic senators, governors, whatever it means to be a Democrat. That's what he is. But now that he's a president, because he threw the word, okay, I'm gonna build a wall, yay, I'm gonna build one, uh, and it made these racist people happy. Yay, we're gonna elect him. He's gonna build a wall for us. The wrong. He's fooling you guys. He's manipulating you into thinking he's gonna build it, which he's not. There's a plan here already within the government. We cannot control that plan. Like even if the government says this and this and this, the government isn't with us. Like they're not gonna understand us. They're gonna for their benefit. They're the ones getting paid. There was one president that said you can't get rich off politics, but you see all these politicians getting rich and making a, a career out of being a politician. Now you see Mr. Little Ted, Lying Ted, talking about there's term limits. He wants to bring a bill up now that the Democrats have power. Now that this is happening, like it's not supposed to be like that. Anyways, I do believe in term limits. What I am saying, the subject of this video is that the president is an undercover Democrat. The third instance is when he was taking away the bump stocks from the people. Like, well, it is the George Washington said that a militia is it's necessary for a free people, right? And it shall not be infringed. Um, while the militia it's its own people working by themselves, um, and the army is somebody different, right? I believe that the militia should have equal military armament to the army, to the Air Force, so we can remain free, so they can defend the United States. Because if you don't have equal power, then that means the person who has all the power, which is the government, they have it with the army, they have superior military force to do what they want, and to the people, that's not right. It's not supposed to be that way. It's supposed to be equal power, equal armament, for us to be equal like that because they represent us. The militia itself, it is necessary because if the government steps out of bounds, that militia is gonna unleash its full power against the tyrannical government that suppresses the people. Am I correct? And that's what's in the Constitution. You can't change that. You know, I mean, the Democrats might take it and roll it up and smoke it somewhere. I mean, but that's what the Constitution is. I mean, it's made out of hemp paper. People are saying it doesn't worth. It's the Constitution ain't worth much because it's written on hemp paper, and hemp paper before was illegal. Like now it's legal. Like, come on, the Farm Bill. Anyways, but in this subject, Trump, I think he's a great con artist. And when these people, these Trump supporters that are radical, the what they call them, the fanboys or the hand boys, what they call them, the handsome boys, the Republican far right extremists. When those guys realize it, man, they're gonna be on suicide watch. When they realize that this guy conned them and he used them for this purpose and stuff. And so the far left, the extremists, those people are just the same way. For us, the country to be connected, we must be together. Because if anybody tries to attack the United States, who are we gonna have? Who're gonna have our backs? It's only us. It's only us. Like, not China ain't gonna be there for helping. Venezuela, of course not. The communist stuff. Cool. Israel ain't gonna be there. They're over there with Mexico, helping them with their infrastructure, and you know, even though there have been some senators that said Israel isn't our friend, which makes me think a lot about Israel. Even though they go to Congress, they demand money, the because they want to be anti-Semitic. The government gives them whatever they want, even more, and they use it to kill Palestinians and all this other stuff, which is kind of weird because isn't the United States taking down like humanitarian crisis Palestinians here? Like, isn't that kind of weird that we fund them? They immigrate here because we let them have money. Like, isn't that kind of weird? That's a manufactured crisis there. Now, the president is talking about that in my other video. I talked about it. Which this guy is so more fake than the word fake itself. But I will come up with more evidence that the president is an undercover Democrat. He himself wants to give amnesty to anybody. What did he say? He said, no amnesty. Remember that? And he said, oh, I'll take the blame for it. Or, this and that. Like, can you, like, keep your word at any of your, everything that comes out of your mouth, can you keep your word? Because not even I would want to go into business with Trump because he changes his word all the time. If you go into business with somebody who changes their policy every other moment, you can't go to business with them because at any moment you could get kicked out for not following their procedures. Like, that's not right. I mean, business owners, those business owners that are listening to me, would you go to business with somebody who changes their policy in a whim? I'll leave that question out there so you guys, and put it down in the description or in the comments and tell me what you think about that because I personally wouldn't. I mean, and we were talking about a president who's going to be under indictment as soon as he becomes private citizen, because if you don't see those court cases already being filed against him before and after, then you're in for a surprise because now that the Trump Foundation is gone. And the reason that he did that is because he knows how corrupt it was. He was gonna go down. He was gonna go down by it. Now because the Trump Foundation is down, now he's going after Hillary. No, like he's going after his best friend. Look at the thumbnail. Like, that's how tight they are. They're probably lovers. Look at that. Would you look at Trump the way Hillary is looking at him if you hadn't given him favors? Like, they literally look like they're lovers, Like, he probably touched her butt and she's all like, oh my God, you touched me. Like, that's like buddy fuck friends type shit, Like, and excuse my language, but that's how it is. Like, that's exactly what that relationship is. Now, when he became president by another saying, lock her up, in his words. And he was screaming this to his Trump followers. He's brainwashing them. He's telling them, yeah, we're going to lock her up, this and that. Yeah, rally for me, vote for me, this and that. But then when he became president, 2 weeks after, what did he say? I'll leave. I'll give you 1 minute of silence so you can figure that out. What did he say? Okay, if you guys haven't figured it out, if you guys haven't been paying attention, what did he say? Well, he said, no, she doesn't need to get locked up. She doesn't need to go to jail. She has suffered enough. Or not. Well, Mr. President, wasn't that one of your promises that you gave the Trump supporters? Like, why haven't you filled it up? What? That's the reason they're mad. And then now that you broke that promise, now about the wall, you're gonna break that one too because you don't have leadership skills. And if you go through executive overreach, you there's checks and balances. Like, it's not supposed to be that way. We have heard the president talk down on checks and balances, saying that's the thing that makes enemies of the country. He called the media enemies of the people, which is wrong. I'm just saying the media is gonna report what they want, like what I'm doing, journalism. Whether it is right or wrong, they're gonna report it. Now it is whether the people want to listen to it or not. Now, doing what Kim Jong Un does, controlling the narrative on free media and kicking people out like Jorge Ramos, even if you don't believe in if what he's saying, like, why are you trying to suppress? Like, that's one of the impeachable offenses that can get him impeached for not letting free speech be roam free by the constitutional rights of American citizens. That's one impeachable offense. You're going against the Constitution, against the constitutional right for me to hear a free press. One cannot step over that. The constitutional law reigns over the whole United States. Not only people who are poor, rich, famous, whatever. If you're an American here in the United States, you do belong to that constitutional amendment that says you have the freedom of free speech. Excuse me, my glasses are falling. But this guy, he's a Democrat. He attacked gun owners. Like, if you own a gun and you have a bump stock, like, now you're considered a criminal. Like, and if you do have them and don't turn them in, now you have a felony, and you're gonna have a court case. Like, ridiculous. After he received, I don't know how many millions from the NRA to have their bags and stuff, and ridiculous, man. This guy is a populist Democrat. He's probably even like Barack Obama, but he probably said it. Barack Obama said he wants to be like Donald Trump, and Donald Trump is doing exactly what Barack Obama said, what he has, his actions, So this is like one of those things. He's a Democrat like that, but you guys are seeing he's giving you guys like when you go fishing and you're throwing little bits of food and the fish come get it, and then all of a sudden you put food out with the hook and you hook this fish. He's doing that. He's baiting you guys into making decisions, and when it's too late, like, let's say we already gave away like 3 of our constitutional rights, it's gonna be too late. Like, right now they need to challenge Trump. If he is going to be a good president, he's going to go through these challenges and become a great leader, like JFK, But other than that, like, you guys already know what I think. This guy's some kind of undercover agent for the Democrats. But you guys don't see it. You guys are over here voting. Texas is voting for this guy for some reason. Like, it's ridiculous. Of course, I know Texas is full Republican, like straight up. But with all this happening, the tables are gonna turn, and you guys are gonna be flipped, and the ones who are gonna be radical are the Trump supporters. I just think that we all should get together and make a foundation so we can become together and never let go, and always stay as a citizens of the United States, being healthy and roam free with our rights and with nobody infringing. And once we see somebody trying to infringe, we attack them because they're not supposed to be doing that. Like right now, what I'm doing, journalism. The one who is trying to take away this right was Ajit or Paul, whatever, the FCC communications. He's trying to take away he did take it away. I forgot the name of that little policy he had. But it was equal internet access to every citizen. You know, they won't throttle with your kilobyte that are coming in. The internet providers, nothing like that. But yeah, he did it. People spoke out against it, and then some states even fought back, and they made their own laws over it. That was when Obama was president. He came up with that, so we can all be equal under that law. You know, because if you're not paying this much to your service provider, internet service provider, and then they mess up they throttle your internet because you didn't pay much, like that's wrong. Like we're all supposed to have the same amount so we can speak and be able to roam the internet. Because if something goes down and then you can't go outside, the internet is the only place you can go, or the radio, right? Survival. Well, I talked about more than I should have, but you guys just think about it. Like and subscribe. Tell me what you think. Put down some links on the comments if you guys want. Give me a thumbs down. I don't care. You guys have a great